So the iris is a convex. So it's going to form the outer shape of your eye. So think about the convex of your eye. It's going to be a spherical shape like so. And then when you think about the cornea, it's going to form a mirror image of your iris, but in the other direction. So it's going to be a concave. Like so. So you think about this right here, the iris is your surface of your eye, and the cornea is a mirror image on the inside of your eye. Now the iris right here is translucent. So which means it's going to allow light to pass through. But it's also going to refract it a bit, meaning it's going to bend it a little bit. But for simplicity's sake, we're just going to draw it so that when the light comes down from the bottom of your eye here, it's going to pass through the iris and hit the opposite side of your cornea here. We're drawing the light coming from the bottom here. This is the light. And then it's going to come up and hit the opposite side of your iris. Now, when you draw the iris, the reason I drew this sort of middle circle along with a line in the top and the bottom lid was to show you the extent or the limit that your iris can extend. Because think about it, when you look in different directions, you can't actually look so that your iris is actually at the far edges of your lids. It actually stops at a certain location because that's just the limit of how far it can go. So this line, or this circle right here, is going to be the extent of your iris. So let's just draw the iris at the top. So when it comes back to the iris is going to be about I would say about a third of your limits here, and then the pupil is going to be a third of that. So let's just draw the pupil in the center of your iris. Draw the pupil in the center of that. And because your pupil is the same shape as your iris, it's actually going to be dark on the far side. Whereas your cornea is going to show up lightest on that side. So we draw the lightest part of your cornea is going to be purely white. So let's just draw the extent of that white part right here. Think about it, when the light hits this part, it's going to actually array out in all different directions. And the extent of the wavelength of the light that hits are actually going to be different depending on what color actually hits your eye. So it's really going to be a bunch of random patterns, but right now what we're going to do is we're going to draw in some lights, reference lines, just show that the light is actually arraying out. So now we got that done, now what we can do is we start going in and filling in the details of that array in lights. So like I said before, the light is actually going to be different lengths, and it's going to be kind of random lengths. So we can just draw these as light random lines for now. Since the light is hitting this part of your cornea directly, the extent of your eye around the closest parts is actually going to be dark, which is this part right here. So let's just go ahead and darken that part of your eye ball. Now I'll get a darker pencil just to kind of make it a little bit darker. Okay. And the part immediately below your top lid is actually going to be darker as well, because your top lid is actually protruding out farther than your bottom lid, which acts as the sort of protector or the umbrella for your eye from the light that's the high intensity lights that is above. So let's shade in this part right here.